Bluewren Cantos. I find myself reaching these days toward everything, as if at once confessing love and taking leave. The older I grow, the more I seem to live, as if each moment were a subject and my body were a brush, as if each day were paper and I were ink. Most of me is halfway here. The rest stands halfway back and watches. Living is longing. Its own cure, says Rumi, if you go about it right. I write to make desire a practice, to make longing over into country, to free myself inside time's tough love. The place I live is lonely, but I don't think it's lonely for me. Every place feels like this in middle age. Every day the light loves the floodplain and leaves her. Every dusk, the last time, every dawn, the first. But the birds love a place like a mother. Blue Wren again this morning walks the ramp to my shed with his new girl. Children, prophets, lovers. You are most handsome when you are after food. Rumi again. The birds are desire, become a voice and a colour, a form and a game, whose rules are the hours of the day. The more I love, the more often I am fired, broken and remade. The emptier I become, the more pain I learn to bear. A useful skill in a bright and bleeding world, and forget. I learn slowly, but the birds teach me distance and delight. The knack of being here and elsewhere at once. The more I dwell, the less I know for sure. I live in a state of habitual confusion. Like Berger, a man who's lived in love a long time now. In art, as in love and weather, one's mind is in one's body again. One is, for a time, a place, painted by blue wrens, all one's longing, a nest made empty by song. Sculpture Garden for Marie. Of all the sculptures in the sculpture garden, I like the garden best. I like the light that fires it. I like the she oaks and the several gums, resisting all theory, younger than fashion, older than art. I like the wrens, who carry the sky down like laughter to the grass, and make even Rodin's burgers feel like ideas too fixed in time. I like the mountain in behind, eternity ready to pounce. I like the lake under the wind, like the silence under language. And I like you, walking my way through the fog, a sculpture of something beautiful, slowly coming true. Sandhill cranes for Anne. Out of the overcast, sandhill cranes fall to the river in their grey and irreverent music. I'd seen them in the cornfields as I drove, ghosts in remission, slow food scavengers, part-time monogamists, making the most of it in the rain. Now at dusk, the Platte hustles east, cashed up with Wyoming snowmelt, and I stand on the bridge and watch them in their even-numbered ensembles arrive. They carry their legs behind them like music stands they never learned to fold, and they slash a loose graffiti on the cloud bank as they come. They circle the river as if it were not their stage, and nightfall were not their moment. They dissent and audition, half diffidence, half desire. Blue notes clatter down, in 5/4 time, and the birds splash down between the bars, throwing the baritone sacs of their voices in oblique arcs across the waters, grey sinkers at the end of long grey lines, cast to hook the twilight and release it in the dawn. And everywhere the spastic eloquence of their dance. The wind dies and the light dies too, and 200,000 birds disappear inside their own erratic lullabies. And if you were here, I'd kiss you now. But there are only the birds trying and trying again their perfect pitch in the pure eternality of the night. And a small breeze shivering the Indian grasses along the shore. Soft bombs. From under the shower, I look up at jacaranda blossoms, suicide bombers in party dresses, fallen overnight on the skylight in the rain. And I think of you, the tender, hopeful violence of the sacrifice involved in loving me. Each kiss a pretty body part, a broken fall from grace.